I have to keep waiting for this one to go. I have to see. It's picking up on like the waiting for the laptop audio, but it wouldn't pick up the audio for this one to go. I have to see. It's picking up on like the waiting for the laptop audio, but it wouldn't pick up the audio for this one to go. Oh, so now it picks up on that one. So now it picks up on this one. It picks up on this one, but doesn't pick up on the microphone. That's just weird. So now it picks up on this one. It picks up on this one, but doesn't pick up on the microphone. That's just weird. Hmm. I need to figure out why that is, though. Like, I need to figure that out real fast. I need to figure that out. So it's working now for. So it's working now for So yeah, what's the whole point of all of these things? And maybe that's just and maybe that's just it. So maybe that's just and maybe that's just it. So did I just lose? I feel like yeah, I feel like it's just one of those things, you know. It's just like it's just one of those things that um we're not too sure about. So uh yeah. But I think that now though, like I figured it out and um it is just what it is. So I hope that um well, I don't know for sure, but just testing out this whole vibe thing, and yeah, I just want to see if this is gonna work. So, cause yeah, like all you really got to do is just click in and click out. But so far, it looks like it's just yeah. It's oh, Philly's here. Welcome back, buddy. All right, so I will send you a DM to let me send that to you real quick. Uh so Philly, check your Twitter DM. Check your DM on Twitter. Yeah. Um oh, he's here. Hey, how are you, man? Can you hear me? Oh man, I'm like super new to like the whole um
Good.
oh,
Can you
you're
hear
good?
me?
Yes, I can hear you, man. How are you?
Nice. Yeah, I'm good. Definitely.
I was like super annoyed because I couldn't figure this thing out, and I've been trying to do it for like the past hour or something. I was like, "Oh my god, that's it." I was about to go
Right.
to bed because yeah,
It's late for
but I
you.
finally did. I finally did. Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah. As soon as I saw you posted, like, what, first thing this morning for me, but it must have been late for you, saying I might go live. I was like, "Yep, I'll be there. I'll be there."
Yeah, yeah. Initially, I thought it was just gonna be, just like an hour or something where I just chill and just like hang out with people. But well, then technology struck and I couldn't even figure it out. Um, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like almost 11 here. It's 10 20 10 27 now. Yeah.
Yep.
So pretty much about that time. But well, anyways, it's good to have you here, man. So I'm testing out this platform. It's called Restream.io, and it's free. You can have about 4 people at once um, on the platform. And what this does is, so this stream is going straight to YouTube and everything. So if you have
Yeah.
like a Twitch or something, you probably know what this thing is, anyways. So, but yeah, it's it's pretty decent. So I don't know if you've heard about it. Restream, have you?
No, this is the first time, but when I saw you were using it, I see the logo in the corner. I hopped over and
Um,
looked. You can
okay,
simultaneously stream to different platforms. That's
exactly.
handy.
Exactly. It is. It is. It even goes to like Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. They have about, I don't know, 10, 15 places that you can just like go out at once. So it's like, okay, that's nice. That's
That's pretty
nice.
crazy.
That's
Rather
yeah, it
than
is.
just
It
sticking
is.
yourself to YouTube only or only Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you said recently how like you've gone full time creative now. How's that been so
Yeah.
far? How's it been?
So like I said in the video, if you want to watch it, it's still up on the channel. I am only doing videos and photos, not full time for myself necessarily. But what I
Okay.
found was a business that allows me to basically kind of work like part time on my schedule, doing photos and videos and stuff for an actual company. But it gives me the freedom that if I wanted to leave in the middle of the day to go do something, I totally could.
Yeah.
They've just got projects that I have to get done.
Great.
And I'll say
Great.
it's been great, man. Working with other creatives in their business too. Like we got a couple other video editors. There's probably 5 total people who can do the shooting and the editing. And
Mhm.
we've got the whole other side of the business is just like the business people. So for us being down one hallway where we can walk up and down and talk to each other, that's pretty cool. And then I don't you probably noticed I've gotten a couple videos in a row, like
Yeah.
a couple weeks now up on YouTube. So doing
Which
both
is great.
things is a dream, you know. I know I'm going to get
Yeah.
a paycheck from the regular job, but I can do this for fun for myself.
Great. Great. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I was planning to like start up something, especially I think Twitter's a great place. We have a very strong community there. You know,
Mm.
you, Bear, um, you know, Kevin, a lot of
Kevin, yeah.
people, you know. So it's just like I thought that, I could start up like a mini podcast series where we would have something like this and people would just like we would just like share experience about the whole idea of just being a creative, whether that's like as a business or it's just being a better human, in general, just things like that. So I had that
Yeah.
conversation with oh my god, I forgot his name. Oh lord.
What's that?
Hold on. No, this will not happen. With
I remember
Ruben.
seeing that on the
Ruben.
Twitter.
Ruben. Yeah,
Yes,
with
Ruben.
Ruben.
Yeah.
So, I was telling him about how um, I wanted to work on this collaboration with a few people where I think that as creative people, we have some things that we sort of do that we can improve on, some traits and behaviors that we do, whether that's from not taking care of our bodies to not fully understanding the business side or the commercial side of filmmaking, or like
Yeah.
spending too much on gear and things like that. So since everyone has a different journey, right? Everyone
Hmm.
will have a different insight into something like that. So, for example, I myself, I would say that I pretty much try to stay in shape. I play football, I run, I go to the gym, but still, I've always wanted to change my diet for the longest time.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw Ruben's video about going plant based, I was like, that's it. That's
Maybe that's what it
it.
is.
you know, um, so especially because one being in China, I live in China. I live in China. I live, work, and study here. So a lot of the things that we consume out here, it's mostly meat and meats. There's not a lot of options in terms of, well, there are, but the way Chinese meals are cooked in a way that even if you want to go plant based, for example, the vegetables are cooked with meat. So it's not just,
Yeah.
there's almost no way around meat unless you try to like cook for yourself and things like that. But it's one of the things I'm actively trying to get into, in a way to sort of just train my body and my mind um, to go through that experience of having plant-based diets. And I think that that's going to help me in the long run because spending a lot of time behind the computer, spending countless
Yeah.
hours during edits and everything, it's just it's insane. And the way things work here is, clients, they want things very fast, which is, it's
Mm,
it's almost impossible to explain to them that this does not happen anywhere else. But that's the way China is. China is like really fast.
right.
So I spend a lot of time on my computer. I don't have a lot of time for anything else. Um, so I'm trying to make that conscious effort to be more healthy. And that's where I think that, I'm trying to develop myself in. I'm pretty sure that for like it will be different with everyone. You probably have your own story. Everyone else is gonna have their own story as well. But yeah. So yeah, that was what I was planning. But what do you think? What do you think about that whole concept?
Well, I have two questions to follow up.
Yeah.
One is, how much time would you say you spend shooting, like with a camera in your hand, versus
Okay.
editing, sitting at a computer, whatever that means, business or editing? What
I
percentage?
spend more editing. I would say 30/70. I spend like 30 shooting actually, and a chunk of that time goes into the edits.
Yeah.
A lot of that goes into edit because most of the clients that I usually engage with here, they are international firms who want something different. They don't want the Chinese style of cinematography, or so. Even if, yes, I do have some Chinese people that I work with, I still find out that eventually I still have to go back and supervise and edit or do this, or so
Yeah.
I still have to do a lot of things, which is not very effective and efficient, but it's the way it is for now. So
Right.
yeah, a lot of that time goes into the edits. A lot of that time.
So for me, when I was shooting weddings, it was one day was just shooting, and it was 14 hours, and the rest of the week was just editing. So I could finish an entire wedding in 1 week. That's like 6 days. But that's
Yeah.
one out of the 6 days was just standing on my feet the whole time. So there was always a couple days I was glad to be sitting down afterwards.
Yeah.
So the
Wow.
next one is, the next question though that I had that brought up for me was, how many of your meals do you plan ahead? Like at the beginning of the week, do you plan at least dinners, or do you just make it up every day, figure out what you want?
It's mostly just figuring it out, honestly.
Mm.
I would think that my safe haven is broccoli. As long as I have
Yes.
broccoli, I feel like I feel like everything will be fine.
And it
Um,
goes so well with so many
with,
things.
exactly with anything. So like this evening, I made broccoli and pan fried potatoes because I'm just like, oh, what am I gonna have? I have
Right.
broccoli. Oh, I still have some potatoes left. Okay, bam, I just did that together. So yeah, um, I usually don't know like. I think it's easier for a lot of people though to just like figure out what they want to have. For me,
Sure.
it's different. I don't know if I guess you're married, so you have help with that. I don't need
Yep.
help. My girlfriend lives in Shanghai. I'm in like another city. We're like 4 or 5 hours apart. So, because of work and everything, so I don't have help at all in terms of my
Picking
meals or
meals.
something like that. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't. I
So
don't.
that is different because your idea of what you want could change from one day to the next. Maybe you
Absolutely.
want broccoli with rice or broccoli with, a potato or some other
Yeah.
type of thing every
Yeah.
day, and you could decide that. But what my
True.
wife and I have started doing, I've got just on my phone here, we have
Nice.
literally 7 days worth of meals picked, right?
Wow.
It's,
Okay.
tacos one day, chicken Alfredo, like a pasta type meal set another day. And we just go down the whole thing. And usually at least one or two of those days, it's whatever we find, leftovers from the
Yeah.
days before. And then what we'll do is if we look at the list for that day and say, I don't want that today, we can just swap one of the meals. But we know
Yeah.
we've picked 7 meals. I've gone to the grocery store and bought those ingredients. So
Wow.
I'm not
Cool.
thinking I have no idea what I want and I have no food in the house to cook.
Yeah.
I could pick or totally change my mind for the leftovers. If, maybe go out to eat instead.
That's great. That's
That's
great.
been a huge help for us because knowing you have the food
Yeah.
means you can plan to say, I know I need this much time to cook it.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to do that as well. So for example, things like pasta, um, bacon, some cheese,
Mm-hmm.
just everything that I potentially could have, even noodles, rice, some baked beans, and everything. I have those things, um, but it's it's just a. I think it's just a. I honestly, I still don't know. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie because sometimes I feel like I know what I want, and in most cases, I honestly don't know. I just know that
Yeah.
I'm hungry, but it's just I don't know.
I want to eat
So,
something.
yeah. So even if I go to my fridge and I open it up, there's like I have this, but I'm like, okay, what am I looking at here? What exactly do
What
I?
do I make?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's that, and the thing is, I find it difficult to stick to just one kind of meal. So, for example, in your case, you already have a plan of what you could potentially have. For me, I'm not that stable. My taste buds have a mind of their own. Um, on some days, I want this. On other days, I'm like, no, get that away from me. Um,
Right.
but yeah, it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge,
Mm.
balancing that with everything else. Because especially I have this very terrible habit, which is once I start making a video, whether it's I'm out on the shoot or I'm editing right now, I wouldn't get up till my body feels like till I'm literally quivering from being
Yep.
hungry. I'm just gonna be there because in my head I'm thinking, oh, what that's gonna be 2 hours or an hour, you know, trying to find something. That's wasted time. I need to finish this. I need to do this.
It
So
feels like wasted time.
exactly, exactly. Even if I know that it's not, but it's just in that moment, it's just so difficult to detach myself from the process.
I do that at
So
work. Most days, all the other guys in the office get lunch, and I'll still
yeah,
stay in my office and keep working because I feel guilty even taking a break, whether
break.
it's paid or not. I just want to keep working.
True. I can imagine. So yeah, that was what I was thinking about. That we all have this areas that we can improve on. You know,
Yeah.
and sometimes like you do those things and you don't know until you actually have conversations around them. Before I moved here, I used to work in consulting, and it was more about performance enhancement. And because I had a background in behavioral psychology and things like that, so a lot of the things that we would usually tell people, right, is how to best optimize your productivity and things like this, and blah blah blah.
Mm.
And it's even if I do know all of those things, right? Sometimes it's in my blind spots when I'm doing those things. So until there's like a session where I'm able to, maybe have a one-on-one conversation with someone, or before I actively, start doing something about that. I
Make
think
a
it,
change.
yeah, maybe that
Yeah.
works with a lot of people as well. So, but yeah, yeah, that's that. That's that. But well, hopefully.
Yeah. So
But
having a little group like you were talking about, starting up some sort of the people that we've found on Twitter that all consistently talk with each other is a little bit of accountability. You
absolutely.
know, I mean,
Absolutely.
Patrick Tomaso, how he started Pizza Friday as a thing. I'm sure you've seen that every Friday.
Patrick
How
is
many tweets? I can't even imagine how many tweets he gets of pictures of pizza every single Friday.
every honestly, like, and you know what's crazy is Patrick takes most, like, okay, let me ask you, what do you think he takes those photos with? Camera or
His
phone?
phone. It's 100%
It's
it's his phone.
insane, it's insane how he, because I look at myself and I'm like, first of all, well, I don't like taking pictures in the first place. So I
Yeah.
don't, I'm like, it's nice, but I'm not like super inspired, like, oh my God. But I can say that for someone who likes to take pictures, like, that is, it's incredible what he does, and how he like finds those things and take pictures of them.
Yeah.
So it's either Patrick lives in the best place in Canada, or he's just a genius. It's just one of those
Well,
two.
it's got to be a combination of both because I think his thing is he's constantly taking pictures. It's it's all day every day for him. So
Yeah.
whether he's at home in his house that he's got great lighting. How many windows does that guy have? You know? But and it's so wild because I mean, how many of us have cameras that close that we can
Yeah,
just reach over and grab them and he shoots with
yeah,
his phone everywhere.
yeah.
But that's what he
True.
does. He's constantly doing it.
Yeah. It is. I think one of the things I respect about Patrick was, one of the interviews that he did, and then we had a conversation around that where he was saying, and that is sort of like has been my go-to mantra regarding YouTube or anything else. He said something, and in that interview, he said that you sort of have to enjoy the process. Like, for him,
Yeah.
it's not work, you know. And the moment YouTube starts to feel like work, he's gonna stop. And that was sort of like profound in an age where a lot of the more established creators are gonna say, "Oh, like, you have to do this.
It's a job.
You have to go all in. You have to and you have this other person who's like on another spectrum saying, "Man, just enjoy the vibe. Just go with the flow." Um, if people like it, fine. If they don't like it, well, make sure you like it. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. So yeah, he's someone that I respect, not just because of his creative work, but more like his approach to a lot of things. It's very practical. I think that's what I appreciate about Patrick. It's very practical.
Yeah. Every video he ends it with, "You'll see me next time I feel like making another one."
Yeah, yeah, great, man, great. So when next are you making your videos, man? When next are you gonna drop something on YouTube?
Well, I've been trying at least to keep up every Monday for me. I know we're
Okay.
12 hours apart, so
Yeah.
um, that's another thing is who's watching my videos, when can I post them? But I'm trying to get them out like on a Monday so that I have the weekend to finish up a video. Once
Okay.
a week is kind of my goal, but if I miss a week, it's not my job. Nobody's going to come after me.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lose money yet this early on.
Exactly.
So if I can, my goal is if I get it to the point where I can make a little bit of side income eventually. I know I'm not even close yet, but if I can make side income just to help me buy camera gear as a hobby,
Yeah,
that's enough for me.
that's great. Definitely.
I want to have a steady job also so that I know
Okay.
my family's taken care of. But once a
True.
week is about right.
True. Definitely agree with that. I think even for me as well. Instead of I've just redrawn my strategy around YouTube to be more of that. I'm just gonna enjoy the flow. I will make videos when I feel like I'm in the mood or I want to do something. But the point that any moment I feel like, what am I gonna make? This, that, that's. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
sit back till I get back in that flow. Like you said, it's not. I'm not gonna lose any money if I don't make any video. Yeah. So I
That
think
was
for me,
last night for
actually,
me.
yeah.
Last night
Oh,
I was ready to film that video for you, the Photoshop one. I had
yeah,
my lights are set up, my camera's set up, all the settings were
yeah,
ready to go, and I said, "You know
yeah.
what? I'm tired. I'm not in the mood." And I fell asleep on the couch and slept on the couch. Woke up this morning, started rolling and started going, you know?
Oh, wow. Ruben is here on the live chat. So he says hi. Uh Ruben, can you hear us? We are just chit chatting about Twitter and everything. But yeah, if if you're able to join, you can join us as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely understand. I'm looking forward to that tutorial though, because like I said, I still don't know anything. And I think I made a conscious effort not to know anything about Photoshop. Um, honestly, because every single
On
time
purpose.
that yeah, kind of. Every single time that I've opened up Photoshop, I've just gone, oh man,
It's
you
too
know,
much.
oh man. So, and yeah, I feel like it will be distracting for me because if I
Yeah.
pick that up again, it will be something that, I want to be good at and this, and it's okay, but uh,
But you do so much how okay. Those thumbnails you make where like you have text behind you and you cut yourself out, right? Are
yeah.
you doing that in Final Cut or After Effects?
Everything is in Final Cut Pro.
See, I
Everything.
knew it. I that's I'm solving that problem with my first video, man. Like I literally go through 3 different ways to cut yourself out and put something behind you just so you can save yourself time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a
It
I
happens.
can't give away
Ooh.
too much. I can't give away too
Okay.
much, right? But I chop a camera. I chop the background off a camera in less than 10 seconds, bud.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
oh, there's Bear.
man.
There he
Boys
is.
are
Yeah.
talking.
Who let this animal in here?
Yeah.
I saw the invite link, so I was like, why not hop in?
You gotta do it.
Yeah. What's up,
I had
man?
to.
What's up?
Yeah.
Had to.
How are
So
you?
how
Ruben should join. I sent him the link as well.
you
Let me
should.
let me check him out on Twitter to see if he's able to.
Cool. So
Oh,
how are
okay.
you guys doing?
Awesome, man.
Good. We're good. We're good.
It's
How
a
are you?
holiday here for us in the United States.
I'm glad to hear you guys are doing great. I'm doing good actually today.
Mm.
I can't complain.
How was your? You were supposed to have something to do today, right, Bear? You were supposed to have something to do.
Yes, I had a workshop earlier today, and actually
Mm-hmm.
right
Okay.
now I was supposed to have a Zoom call, but that's
Yeah.
postponed to tomorrow. So I have nothing to do right
Oh,
now. So why not hop in? Huh.
yeah. Wow. How was your workshop though? How did it go? Hope everything went well.
It went really well. And
Great.
I was a little bit amazed by it because it was with a lot of students, like 26, 27 students per class.
Wow.
So I didn't really practice my my script. So I
Yeah.
went in. I went in with a idea, but overall it went pretty well. The people were really engaging. They liked what they were doing. I let them
Yeah.
vlog for a little bit, so I can't complain. Tomorrow, another day.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. That's
What have you
great.
guys done today?
For me, I've just wrapped up. I'm executively producing a podcast for one of the firms here. It's called CCG.
Mm-hmm.
CCG is a firm that has a lot of relationship between China and the U.S.
Mm.
So they get a lot of like diplomatic relations and like ambassadors and things like that. So one of the things they're working on is to um, have like a video and audio format of the
Mm-hmm.
sessions that they usually have with guests and everything. Initially, they didn't even think about it. So I was a delegate on one of the programs that they had, and I spoke to like one of the coordinators. I'm like, "Yo, like, you guys should have this. Like, what's up with this?" So he's like, "Man, we've been looking for someone to do this, but we couldn't find." So he's like, "Send me a proposal. Let's talk about it and everything." So I
Yeah.
spoke to the team today in charge of that. Spoke to like their marketing team, everything, and blah blah blah. And it was good. They were excited about the whole prospect.
It
So
already
yeah,
sounds exciting. Exciting.
hoping that gets cleared, and yeah, that would be another project in the pipeline. But yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah,
um,
nowadays I don't see much reason for a podcast to be just audio if you have the option for video. It just makes sense.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Because I feel like there's so much that you can do with like an audio format of your podcast. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
adjust my lights there, trying to be
And how
cinematic.
many people on YouTube have been hiring people to chop up their long form podcasts into smaller
Exactly.
videos? That's a great job that you get so much more content out of
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
video.
It's actually insane. Like from one podcast, you can make like, if you do it properly, you can almost make like 10 small videos of it and just
Yeah.
post that and then wait for the next podcast to be recorded. So cutting up your content is just, especially podcasts, it's a
Paces out
blessing.
everything. Yeah.
It's a blessing right
True.
now.
Oh, so Ruben cannot join us now. He says that there's a big storm and he's had to disconnect his computer. So
Mm.
he's just listening to us on the phone.
Uh,
But yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. So
Next time.
before you joined us, babe, one of the things that we were talking about, I and Philly was, um, I'm not sure if I've told you about this, but I think we had that conversation the last time we spoke
Hmm.
on Zoom. So I want to have like a mini podcast where, for example, like even if it's just like the three of us, or I don't know,
Hmm.
someone else from like the Twitter gang, where we just sort of have this kind of vibe and just talk about it, the creative side and like anything else. For example, like
Hmm.
we've even spoken about food today and like my problems with like knowing what to eat and things like that. So, but yeah, where we can just have, chilled out conversations, and even like just, talk about this whole YouTube thing, how, um, my approach going forward, Philly's approach going forward, and your approach going forward as well. Because I think that we're we're kind of like consistent. I like to think that in some way, we're kind of like consistent with our YouTube, and I've seen that growth with like everyone. I've seen that growth
Hmm.
with everyone. Um, so just keep that whole community going, so that we can encourage each other and all of that. But yeah, maybe it's gonna be a live stream. Maybe it's gonna be like an actual podcast that's gonna be video and audio format or something. I don't know. I'm still
Hmm.
trying to figure out that whole system and seeing how we can make it work.
like, and I also feel like that personally when I'm engaging with you guys on Twitter and etc. I feel like I want to talk with you guys like this.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I don't have the time, or the time zones is a issue, or I just don't do it. And I feel like I want more interactions with other creators because I like the idea of a cool conversation coming out of that. And I like talking with people, so why not? Why not do it? So I'm on board. I like the idea.
Cool.
Yeah, there's been so many times where I posted something on Twitter and I'm like, well, because of the time change, I'm not going to hear it till tomorrow, so I'll check it later.
Yeah,
And just being able to get this interaction is great.
it's different. It's different, and you can just talk about anything. I mean, when you guys make a video and I comment on it, or other way around, we can talk about it, but in a limited fashion.
Yeah.
But when we talk like this, it's more extended. We can go more in depth and things like that. And I personally really enjoy that. So
Like Bear, I noticed you posted today. I haven't
I
been
did.
watching your
Yeah,
video
I have it
because
on.
I've been waiting for
I have
Tayo
it.
to
On,
get
I have it on
his
my
thing
tab
figured
as
out.
well.
I
still haven't
did.
watched it. It's right on
I
my
wanted to
tab.
post earlier, but I didn't have the time to do it. So I was like, I posted later today. So that's why.
Speaking of posting though, like, have you guys been able to figure out like an actual time that works with when you like really post videos and everything?
Nah,
No.
not really. Not really.
I know I do it. Okay, I know I do it on Mondays, and just for my own mental sake, I try to push it a little later in the day for my day.
Yeah,
So 3:45, so that I know it's posted when I get done with work. I
yeah.
got some time to just sit down and see if anybody's watched it and share to Twitter and stuff like that.
Okay. Because
But
I
it's
think
not
there's
any
also like
specific
the
engagement time.
Nah,
okay. There's
nah.
also like the YouTube in the studio where you can actually check, but for whatever
True.
reason, I don't have that info.
Hmm.
It's not on my channel. I don't have that info. So every time I go
Mm.
there, it just says data not available.
Okay. Yeah, I look at it.
Yeah,
I take it into consideration, but most of the time when I post, it's more about how
yeah,
I feel at that moment.
yeah.
When I don't feel like posting, I
Yeah.
don't post. So I do it more like on a feeling based type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ruben, I think Ruben wants to actually join. He's just asked
Join
how
up.
how Ruben, I will send you just have to click the link, the one I sent to you on Twitter. Check your DM. That's how you can join. Just click the link, cuz yeah, or you can just, chat with us on YouTube if you're not able to join. But I think that you can also use your phone. That's the good thing about. So, do you know about this Restream platform?
Nope.
No. Oh, okay.
Never heard of
Wow.
it.
Since I can plug in y'all in, come on. This is
Yeah.
free juice, y'all.
True. True.
So you can. I mean, not sponsored though. Not sponsored, but yeah. Restream, you can just plug in all your social platforms: Facebook, Twitter, um,
Twitch.
whatever. Yeah, TikTok, Twitch, whatever. I think even Skype. I'm not sure about Instagram, but yeah, they have like a ton of platforms that you can connect with. So whenever you're streaming like this, it streams to those platforms at the same time, which is like really nice. So like now I'm not
Oh.
even like opening up my YouTube. I know that this whole live stream is going on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice one. It's a really nice one. And just in case, you want to have like someone on your channel or like a show or something, I feel like this is a very good way to Hey,
It's an easy way
and
to do it.
it's
Ruben.
here. How are
Nice.
you?
Nice to be here with young people. Good energy. Good energy.
That's what we are working for.
Same, same. How is it going now? How's the storm?
Here with young
Yeah.
people. Good energy. Good energy.
Oh,
That's what we are working for. Super cute. Yeah.
There's a bit delay. I hear my voice and I hear after. The
yeah.
storm now is okay. It was like a big thunders before.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you doing,
Wow.
guys? How is everything?
It's
We are doing
good.
great.
Good. Yeah.
The storm now is okay.
Oh, there's still a delay. Interesting.
I think I hear the delay because I had opened YouTube also in another tab, so I just
Yep.
closed it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Woo.
Okay. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to
Yeah,
have you
man,
here.
it's my first time being live on YouTube. First time with you
Really?
guys. So this is like
There it is.
wow. Yeah, this is super cool. Super cool.
Great, great. So you were able to use your phone, right?
I was using my phone before. I was making bread, and
Okay.
then I couldn't resist anymore. You know, I said, "Oh no, let me turn it on."
You need to hop on.
Yeah.
Glad
What
you
are
joined
you up
us.
to, guys?
We're just catching up. Initially I was trying to set all of this up, but technology got the best of me. I couldn't figure it out. I was supposed to start at 9, but I spent around 2 hours just trying to figure out this didn't work. Because I was
Yeah.
trying to, stream through my microphone,
Mhm.
but eventually it's just using my Zoom audio. So my audio is
Oh,
coming in
nice.
from here, into the platform. That was the
Ah,
solution I
wow.
could go with. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, so as soon as I just got it figured out, I was almost sleepy. And then Philly came on, and then I'm like, okay, well, let's just do this anyways. So that was how I sent to the bear as well, and he's here, and now you're here. So we're just we're keeping it chill, hanging out with you
Look,
guys from behind the Great Wall.
look at Bear with that pro mic, man.
I
Yo.
know.
Actually, actually, I can't remember the guy's name, but I was watching a live stream before, and I was trying to figure out my own setup. So I was trying stuff out, and this is like the first time I'm actually using it. So I don't,
Testing it.
yeah. So I'm not
Yeah.
really sure if it's working or not, but
It is.
Sounds
It is
good.
working. Sounds
okay,
It is.
fantastic.
It
Yeah.
is.
I
then
feel
it works.
jealous, man.
So my
Here.
my testing
Here,
is complete.
let me just like I gotta
Exactly, man.
compete with
There's
that,
only me
man.
left here.
Let's pull out the mics, guys.
I have to pull up something here.
Yeah.
Pull out the
Okay,
mic, guys.
let me get a dead cat on my finger. So
Oh,
you'll think that I'm.
dead cat. We can
So yeah, that's why I'm using the Rode mic right now and the camera as well. So
That's good.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you happy with it? Yeah. Well, the sound is really good.
I am satisfied with it. I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
At first, I was doubting a little bit, but
Really.
after seeing it right now, it's doing the job. So I can't complain about it.
Mm-hmm. You know what I did at the beginning, things that we all do when we don't want to spend a lot of money, and then at the end we ended up spending more because the things we did, so at the beginning I wanted to get a microphone because you start doing videos with the phone, and then you start the normal evolution that we all go
Yeah.
through, and then I saw Rhodes microphone, which they're cool. And then I saw 3 sizes. There were one very small, a middle one, and the Pro one. No,
hmm
but of course the Pro one, it cost about 300 and something. I'm not
350.
sure. Right. And then the middle one was a better price, and then the small one, I said, well, I'm not gonna buy the small one because it's too small. I'm gonna buy the middle one. And then I found out after the small one sounds better. Actually, it's better than the middle one, the one I had or I still had. It was crazy, man. And then I after a few months, probably after a year, I ended up buying one of my favorites is the one I have, the one I use for my videos almost all the time, which is the Sennheiser MK something. Fantastic. It's really good. It's really good. But that Rode Pro, it's really great because you also have the possibility to the gain in the microphone, right?
In the mic, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry, but I never had the pleasure to I don't know who you are.
Oh, me? Yeah. My name is Philip Nichols. I live up in Michigan in the United States.
Awesome, man. Nice to meet you.
I've been following you probably on Twitter for a little while and watching some of the videos, but
okay,
I haven't posted as much, so you probably haven't even seen my videos yet, but I follow you on Twitter a lot.
Awesome. I'm sure I do also. And I see a guitar over there at the back.
Yeah.
So do you...
I spent 6 years as a touring musician, full-time.
Wow.
Really? Yeah.
Wow.
And after getting to the point where we would drive to towns and at least somebody would know who we are when we got there, I realized that it wasn't going to be a lifelong thing for me. So I moved on to video after that.
Cool, man.
Because this is something I could see myself doing long term.
Yeah, you see how much things we have in common, right?
Yeah.
Or photography or film or music.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
True.
Man. That's awesome. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That brought us here.
Yeah. Tayo, and what are you doing in China, man?
He's vibing.
So far from everything.
I know. It's insane. Yeah. So initially, China for me was kind of like an adventure. It was always like a childhood dream of mine to sort of just explore anything around Asia. All my life I've mostly been around Nigeria, which is where I was born because my parents are from Nigeria, and between Canada as well. So those are basically like the two places that I know of. But I sort of had this idea of I wanted to expand my worldview, so I thought it's easy to sort of go to like Europe and everywhere else, but this is somewhere that nobody in my family has ever been to. I remember when I was coming here, my mom was like, "Oh my God, are you sure you want to do this? Like, we don't know anybody there. Why do you want to go there?" And she tried to discourage me so hard before I came here. So initially, when I came here with my friend who is American. He's a Chinese scholar. He's an Asian Chinese scholar, Joel Merce. And we started with learning Chinese language and Chinese culture and things like that. And eventually, I found this place interesting. And what I mean by that is not as kind of like, oh my God, but kind of like I'm intrigued. This place is so different from everything I've ever known or anywhere else I've ever lived. And for me, I felt that if I could understand this place, if I can, properly um, break down those walls of, okay, this culture, let's just, let me understand what it means to live in China or what the Chinese person thinks like. I felt like that would help me going forward, anywhere else I go to.
Anywhere.
There are things here that are very different from. I think there are things here that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And if you're able to navigate those things, it would really help you anywhere else in the world. So now I'm currently, besides being a filmmaker, I run a commercial film production company here. Um, I work mostly with a lot of like the provincial offices because I shoot documentaries for them and everything. Part of the things that I help out with is to try to tell the Chinese story from a foreign perspective. So a lot of the films I make are usually around something cultural or something traditional or things like that. So but now I'm already delving into the private commercial side as well. It's not been easy because of language difficulties and some factors, but it's coming well. But I'm also doing research at one of the universities here on marketing and international trade. My
Hmm.
focus is to sort of help create like a scientific, approach to marketing, to online content. That going forward, we're in a time when it is almost as important for you as a business to be online. You have to at this age. But it's
Absolutely.
just not about making any video, right? You need to understand the basis of marketing. If you go to a client, oh, I'm going to make this video for you, or you want this, how does this contribute to the business baseline? Um, so that's what I basically leverage on in my business, using my experience as a professional before. I was telling Philly before I came to China, I was working for a consulting firm, a performance consulting firm. And because of my background in behavioral psychology, so things around, productivity enhancement, living your best life, time management, emotional intelligence, and things like this. So I sort of take all of those things and use that in my business. But then I also take those things and try to use them in my research to see how, we can come up with a more structured approach to
Cool.
online marketing. So yeah, those are the two things that I'm currently working on here in China.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I know that the language must be a big barrier,
Oh,
uh,
yes,
but
yes.
how how is your Chinese?
I think I'm somewhere between a baby and and a high schooler. The thing with the Chinese language is every province that you go to,
Yeah.
they have a local dialect. And the thing with learning is if you learn in class, right, the textbook Chinese is not the same as what is
Of course.
spoken outside. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you
It's
learn something in
Mandarin.
class,
Yeah,
yes, you go
yeah.
outside, they're gonna be like, what? Shama, shama, which is like what? So
Right.
eventually I found out that, you just have to go out there,
Yeah.
listen to people, when they say something you don't understand, try to ask them and everything.
You
Chinese
make
people
it
are
sound
generally
very
friendly.
easy.
Yeah. So they would like try to make you understand. That's the beauty of like the Chinese language. So if
Yeah.
you walk up to like a Chinese person and the moment you say ni hao, which is like hello,
Yeah.
to them, they're like, oh my God, this is who can speak Chinese. And
Yeah.
even if you don't understand anything else after that, they just keep going. Like they just
Yeah.
keep going.
Try to tune
And they will
in.
keep
Yeah.
asking you, do you understand? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Even if you say no, they'll be like, really? And they keep going again and everything.
I
So
love
the
I love
language is
yeah.
is it's interesting. It's
I love
interesting.
Asia, man. I lived for almost 2 years in Indonesia. I used to work with the United Nations before, and
Wow.
I lived 2 years in Indonesia, and I had the chance to travel a little bit in Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and then it's amazing. Asian people, in my opinion, are very very respectful. Very
Yep.
nice. I love it. I love
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Philly,
beautiful.
have you ever traveled to Asia before?
No, but the closest I've been is I worked at a camp for a little while, and they would have groups come through from overseas, and they were doing ropes courses, rock walls, and zip lines, and things like that. It was my job to make sure all the ropes were set up correctly. So getting to interact with those
Okay.
groups and hearing them speak to each other in their native language, and then turn to us and try to talk to us in English, that's the closest I've
Yeah.
been.
Wow. Okay. Well, what about beer? What do you think? Have you ever had an
Nope.
experience? Ah,
Nope.
Where are you
I
there? Where are you now?
wait a second.
He's
Sure.
in the Netherlands.
he's in
In
the
the
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm in the
Yeah.
Rotterdam,
Netherlands.
right?
So
Took
I
me a while
came
to
across
figure out, but I
people.
got you.
I came across people who who came from Asia and other countries because the Netherlands is it's a country with a lot of people with different backgrounds, a lot of people. So you come across a lot of different people. So I came across Asian people, but most of the time they speak English or Dutch. So I never interacted with somebody who actually spoke an Asian type language like Chinese, Japanese, etc. So sadly enough, I can't talk with you guys about this topic.
Yeah, it's okay.
But you can tell us a little bit about the Netherlands. How do you feel there? How because I heard. Sorry, I heard that people are not very open to other cultures, to other people who are not people born there.
Yes.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yes. That's a correct observation, and it's really subtle. It's really subtle. Like when you live over here, you don't really notice it, but people think that. A lot of people have those opinions, those beliefs towards people from other countries. So when you live over here, a lot of people, the Dutch people are very direct. So when they want to say something, they just say it like how it is.
Good. That's good. I like that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And we are very like the Netherlands is a really helpful country in the sense of we get a lot of help in terms of financial stuff, in terms of healthcare, in terms of school. So it's very structured over here. It's not perfect, but it's structured over here. So let's say, for example, somebody who comes from a country that's doing not so well, if somebody comes over here and is allowed to stay, those people can regain their life and maybe doing a little bit better in, I think, 3 to 4 years.
That's beautiful.
Maybe even faster. So, but the process of getting in is a whole different story. It's not that easy to come here and stay over here. It's a whole debate in the Netherlands about people who come over here for different reasons.
Talking like crazy. I love your walls, man. That beautiful for the color correcting.
Thank you.
Philly, and where are you, man? Tayo, I'm sorry that I'm taking the.
No, it's okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's okay.
Where are you?
That's
right
the
now,
whole point
Philly?
of this. We just talk.
I live in Michigan in the United States.
You said it. I'm sorry. Yes.
So I live way up north, though. Not you. If you hear of Michigan, you usually hear of Detroit. In the areas that's in the southern part of Michigan. So there's actually like two pieces of it, and I live way up at the top of the top portion. We're so far north that we end up being not included on a lot of maps of the United States. They think we're part of Canada. So
I was gonna say, so you're close to the border from, and that would be close to which province in Canada?
The southern part of Michigan is close to Toronto, actually. Detroit to Toronto, or that area is pretty close. So I'm farther.
Geography, man.
I'm farther west than that is, and north. Okay. There's a lake between where I'm at in Canada. There's Lake Superior. It's a whole lake that I'd have to cross. But if I drove to either side of this peninsula, you could basically drive either way. Okay. Where I'm at, it's just water.
All right. So in winter, it's cold.
Winter is very cold. We have about 6 months of snow.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
I lived in Canada for almost 10 years, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That's awesome.
That's great. So you said you lived in Canada for about 10 years, and then you moved back to Italy.
Well, that was not
what happened?
So easy.
Why was that transition?
I moved around. Yeah. I'm Cuban. And and then at some point in my life, because of music, I went to Canada, and I continued working as a musician in Canada. for almost 10 years. So I became Canadian, etc. And then at some point, my previous wife, my ex-wife, got a job with the United Nations here in Italy, and we came for good because Canada was too cold for us. And from here, I didn't work in music anymore here because I didn't want to start from zero again. Music, how is it? You have to
Yeah.
work you have to know some people
Yeah.
who know some people, etc. And I didn't want to start again from zero. So I because I studied two things in Cuba. I studied mechanical engineering, and after when I finished, I never worked as an engineer. I studied also music. Actually, I became a conductor of classical music and the whole thing, and I used to conduct
Wow.
a serious stuff
Mm.
over there. And then after I play in popular music, etc. And here I didn't know anybody, so I say, okay, so no more music. Besides, you know how hard a musician's lives is.
Yeah.
So I started working also with the United Nations, with little things. And the first job I had here was like an assistant for one of those branches of the United Nations that they used to was the division of video and media, and that's how I went on a studio for the first time, and I saw a guy editing and the cameras and all the stuff. At that time, they used to record the stuff in tapes. So imagine.
Yeah.
I'm not that old though, anyway. And then from here we went to Indonesia, and I continued working with the UN. And from Indonesia they sent me to Cairo, and then I went back to Canada, and they sent me to Haiti when the earthquake, and I kept doing missions. At some point, because I was a consultant, I wanted to have a fixed contract. I didn't want to be a consultant anymore, because they pay well, but they give you a contract for like 3-6 months and then 1 year without a job. And I really fell in love with Italy. Italy, it was for me the maximum. No, that was some years ago. And then I asked for a full-time contract, but they didn't have that possibility. So I said, okay, so I'm leaving. And I've been struggling here to find a job. So it's been really difficult because life standards here, life is really expensive in Italy. And here is a big mess. I mean, but anyway, I started teaching English here, and doing this and doing that. And then at the school where I work, I told the boss, I would like to do some conferences about different topics, no? And she told me, sure, no problem. And I started doing conferences. And at some point, there were 10 people who came to my conference because the room was small and we couldn't fit more than 10 people. And I told them, guys, if you leave me your email, I will send you a newsletter every week to update you with the topic we spoke about. And they say, okay, no problem. So I started doing the newsletter, but at some point I want to do a video to include it in the newsletter. And the program told me, you can't do that. You have to have a channel on YouTube to do that. And that's how I opened my channel on YouTube with 10 people. And it's been quite a ride. Now, this morning I was talking to a girl who is Chinese, actually, and she makes an amazing videos. And she was kind of low. She was kind of disappointed or discouraged because she's getting very low views, no? And she told me, "What's your goal with YouTube? Do you want to YouTube to become your full-time job? What is your goal?" And I was telling her, "Look, for me, YouTube, I'm very very grateful because for me, YouTube is a door that opens other doors. Because of YouTube, I had 2 big clients calling me to do a filming, to do a gig. So I've done 2 amazing gigs apart from other little ones, and that is thanks to YouTube. So I had to open my own company for so they could pay me, etc. And it's awesome. So for me, I don't. My goal is not to become a YouTuber full time because it's not happening. I don't know. I'm not nailing it the way I supposed to. I don't know, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, but whatever. But I'm enjoying my ride anyway. I'm enjoying it. But my goal is that YouTube is giving me the possibility of shooting all those jobs that they pay well, and I love it. I love doing that. So that is what my goal is, actually, to become a full-time filmmaker or full-time video maker. I love that. What about you guys?
Great. I'm definitely with you on that as well. I think for me, one, I cannot, and I think I and Philly, we spoke about this before you guys came on. One of the interviews that Patrick did, Patrick Tomaso, where he was saying that the moment this thing stops becoming fun, that he's no longer interested. The moment YouTube is feels like work, I felt that that was very refreshing to hear, because everywhere you go, people are like, "Oh, how to get your first 1,000 subscribers? You have to do this. You have to commit. It's a long game. You have to." But and I'm like, hold on, can we just have fun? Like, can this just be fun?
Yeah.
Instead of being very like numbers and, oh, this is it, and this that, for me, one, China is not even a part of the YouTube partnership program. So even if I do get 1 million subscribers, maybe, yes, maybe there are other ways that I will potentially get paid from that, maybe brand sponsorships and things like that. But I still would not fundamentally be a part of the YouTube partnership program. So, and that is the easiest milestone, first of all. That's the easiest place that you can get to before anything else. So if that's off the table, then I might as well just make what I want.
Yeah.
So for me, the reason I started YouTube was that, like I said, when I was coming here, most of my family members didn't actually know what China was about in 2019, because I came here 2018. My uncle came all the way from Canada, and he's like, you know what? Okay, everybody's been talking. Like, I need to see, what exactly are you doing here? Like, why are you here? Um, and then he came. My family's in Calgary, by the way, Ruben. I don't know if
Okay,
that's, yeah, it's in Calgary. And
beautiful.
then, he came here and he's like, okay, I sort of understand why you might potentially want to be here. So for me, YouTube was just, I want something that I could document my life, so that going back 30 years from now, whether I'm anywhere else I'm in the world, or I'm with my grandkids, I can say, oh, you know what, your grandpa was in China, and they can probably like, oh my god, really? And I can show them, which is another
Maybe
reason why.
maybe they
Yes.
will say, no, no, not that grandpa, the other one, the crazy one.
Yeah,
That's cool.
maybe, yeah. And also, just because, for me, I have a philosophy around photos. I really do not like photos, and the reason I don't like them is, one, uh, they don't tell. They Most photos don't tell the stories. You know, you still have to explain or have to tell someone about that photo, and I guess that's why I just love videos so much. You can, make a story that is so well, you know, planned out and so well put together that you don't even have to say a word, and anybody who watches that understands the genesis. Oh my. Understands the genesis and the end of everything that's going on. And I think I really picked up, like, videography when I came to China, because so one of the first documentaries that I ever made here was, some for this institution. They usually go to, like, the poor areas and, like, hand out gifts to the kids and everything. And in one of
He got frozen.
Yeah, it looks like he
Froze.
froze. Oh
Frozen
man.
one.
course, the host is the one who freezes, right?
Perfect timing.
Because everything is passing through him, no?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Or it could just,
Probably.
yeah, probably is. Well, Bear, I'm kind of interested to hear from you.
From me.
Yeah,
Like
man.
what is like your
My
like,
story.
You just finished. What was it? The internship you just finished?
Yes, I finished my internship 2 months ago, if I'm correct. So right now I am finished with school. I got my degree, or at least I have to receive my degree, but I essentially just got my degree. But how I started was not that deep per se, but it was something I always wanted to do but never did. And I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the courage to do it until 2020. But in 2019, I was talking with friends, I was talking with family, and I wanted to have a not a perfect vision of the future, but just a roadmap for what I wanted to do. And I started to create that. So I wanted to have my business and starting a YouTube channel. And also a reason why I started the YouTube channel is I shoot videos for clients, but oftentimes I have this overwhelming creative mind that I want to do what I want to do, but
Of course.
the video is for the clients, so I can't always push my ideas onto them. So YouTube is just my creative outlet to do my own thing and make my own videos and do the crazy things I want to do. So that's also a reason why I started YouTube. But it mainly comes down to I always wanted to do it, but I never did it until now.
That's how we learn, trying and having fun.
True.
Tayo, you went offline for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what
You tripped with the
happened.
cable. What happened?
the crazy grandpa came.
The crazy grandpa.
grandpa.
Wow. That's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. So
Oh,
Tayo,
that's
you
good.
at school you learn Mandarin, like you said before, no?
I mean, now, no, I don't take those classes anymore.
You don't take those classes anymore.
Yeah, I'm way past that level. I'm way past that level. Wow.
Welcome
Okay,
to the
so we
chat.
do have some people watching.
Jelly Duke 100.
Jelly Duck.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for checking us out. So yeah, Ruben, I was trying to see if I think we already spoke about this before, where if we can have this sort of like sessions. And the reason that I say that is because I feel like at least we in our group, right, we sort of have like a sort of like, we sort of understand each other, in terms of like how we bounce off of each other on Twitter and things like that. So if we can have more sessions like this to just like talk about like anything or everything. Uh, for example, the whole idea of you going plant based, which is something that I've just started. I'm still pretty very very new, but I can tell you that so the first after I watched your videos, right? That was the tipping point for me. Um, when you said how much it helped you in terms of your body, your health, and everything, um, I started to think to myself, okay, this is one of those things in life where I'm like, this is a personal challenge. I really want to see how well I can do this thing. I've read a couple articles, like in my usual research style. Even the documentary you sent, the one with that was
Mm-hmm.
produced by Arnold,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. I watched that. I read a few articles and everything, and
Amazing, yeah.
it's something that I'm actively trying to do now. Um, it's still new, like I said, and I don't know if it's placebo, but 2 days ago I had broccoli and potatoes for dinner. And when I woke up the next morning, I usually go on a 1.5 mile run every morning. I ran the fastest mile, my fastest time ever in the history of me running that. But
Really?
this is the thing, right? I think it's too fast. Like, so I'm not sure it's because of the broccoli.
Well, well, you saw in the documentary that at some point, I don't know if it's this one or the other one, at some point, there's a doctor who does a urine test to 3 athletes. And the night before, he gave
Yes,
him meat. And then
yes, yes,
the other week, he gave him just plant-based diet.
yes, yeah,
You saw that part. So,
yeah. I saw it.
yeah, apparently it works pretty fast. I mean, mostly, I guess you guys, because you're younger, you're much. I'm the grandpa here now, but now, because I passed the day 30, I actually passed 30 days.
Yes.
I've been monitoring my weight also, because when I did the video, I didn't lose any weight, because also I started training, etc. And now I start losing weight. Now I guess this is the next step, because I do have some extra kilos in my belly and the love handles, no, which I will be happy to lose all that thing, yeah, that I don't need it, So yeah, I'm start burning that, and I'm very happy about it. Of course, I'm combining. It's been an interesting part of my life. I've been taking so many decisions health wise. No, I went back to training. I went back to meditating. I'm eating clean. So something good has to come out of all this.
Yeah.
I
So
guess.
I would ask, how much would you say going plant-based in a diet has affected like the rest of your life? So obviously, like you said, you started weight training too, or working out, but like
Mhm.
what else has been affected other than just your food?
Oh yeah. No, because of the food. You mean because of the diet?
Well, like, so do you have to go grocery shopping more often, or does it take longer or less time to prepare meals? Like, what else does that trickle into time-wise and things like that?
Yeah, usually people think that when you start eating like vegetarian or vegan or plant-based, whatever, you're gonna have to eat disgusting stuff and things with no taste, and you're gonna be like a slave in the kitchen, etc. And but when you discover that it's actually not true. I mean, I do the groceries the same way I always do it, um, and uh, and the thing is that yes, you cook more, but it's not like you stay longer time in the kitchen. Of course, it doesn't compare. When I used to live in Canada, I used to take what was the pasta Alfredo in a box. I used to open the little bit, and it was to put in the microwave, and that was my lunch. But you some things got to give. You know what you're putting in your body, and it's not the same when you make the pasta at home. I don't make the pasta at home, but I buy it here in Italy, which is pretty good. And then the rest of the ingredients, I make them. I realize that if I buy more ingredients rather than food already pre-made, I cook the stuff, but I eat with better quality. It's an obvious
Mm-hmm.
thing. But no, man, it's been very interesting. And the other day, somebody asked me, "But what about?" I think it was you, Tayo. You asked me,
Yeah.
but you don't have the temptation of because a burger is a burger, man. I know a burger is a
Yeah.
burger. I love meat. I wasn't. I have never been. Good job. You're working very hard, Ruben.
Yes,
Jelly
yes,
dog,
yes.
you're rocking with the Coca Colas, man, with all the flavors over there in Dubai. Eh, what I was saying that oh, I lost the thing. Oh, the burger. I wasn't. I have never been a huge meat eater. I used to eat meat, let's
Mm.
say, once or twice a week. Although I love meat, I love the taste. And then the maximum expression of eating vegetarian for me or plant based was a burger? How can I make a burger
Mhm.
that can taste the same as a real McCoy? You know, that was really difficult. And the other day, I nailed it, man. I let's say 85%. I know what I did wrong. So next one will be like, I don't know if in Calgary, I used to go to Ottawa to a place called Works, and the
Mm.
burgers I ate there has been, oh my goodness,
It was
that
very
was
good.
awesome, awesome. But no, I discovered the other day a burger that is actually really easy. So you basically you have different things. No, you have black beans, you have chickpeas, you have lentils, and mushrooms that you pre-cooked. And but the problem, guys, is that the raw materials here in Italy are awesome. You know, anything you buy here, you buy the cheapest tomato sauce at the cheapest grocery store, and it tastes better than the most expensive one you buy in the fanciest grocery store in
Mm.
anywhere else. Here, well, it's famous. You know, Italy is famous for the food. That's and then anyway, you mix all the stuff and beetroot also. You mix all the stuff, and I made a hell of a
Yeah.
burgers the other day. Oh man, that with a beer. Oh man, and potatoes. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. But no, but
Wow.
I have to make I have to make a video. I mean, which would be like the continuation of this one, which is, I think, is very
Yeah.
important. And I had to make another video about the 60 buttons, which was, I don't know, sometimes you see the goal passing in front of you and you don't smell it. What I'm trying to say is that I did a video
Mm.
some time ago about about the 5 Tibetans, and this has been the highest visualization that I've ever had on YouTube. And I talked about making a video about the 60 Tibetans, and I never did. That was really stupid. And I tell you in 3 seconds why I didn't do it. I Because the 60 Tibetan is something kind of how can I say, very provocative. It's
Mm.
something
Very
very
sensitive.
delicate. I didn't want to talk about that in my because otherwise I don't want people weirdo or something like that. And then I wanted to give it to the public like in a short film. Like giving it between brackets, reading between the line, no, like we say. And I started making the short film, and then lockdown came. My
Yeah.
hair grew, my hairdresser closed, and I couldn't match my older footage
Look.
with the previous one, so I had to stop it. And I have it there, and but I have to make it again. With all that said, Tayo, I would be super happy, man, and I want to thank you for including me, the grandpa of the group, in this conversation. And if you want to do it again, that would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. I would be very,
My pleasure.
very honored to be here with you
Yeah.
guys.
We definitely will. We definitely will do it again. We definitely will. We
I think we
definitely
have a lot of
will.
stuff to talk about, now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I heard
Absolutely.
Philip at the beginning talking about After Effects and how you do that faster than on Final Cut Pro, and I said, what? But I
Mhm.
couldn't. So we have a lot of stuff to talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And the beauty of like this platform here is we can have six people at once. So I
really.
think that for every time, even if we want to have maybe one more person that we can bring on, just to like have a different um, perspective of conversation as well. We can do that as well. We can do that as well.
Cool. That
So
was beautiful, man.
you
I
know,
have good connections. I can invite if you want to. I can invite some of the bigger people, and
Bigger
so
people.
they have a lot of experience. They have a lot of experience, more than
Yeah.
us, more than me,
true,
at
true,
least. and
Right.
and
true,
you could be an amazing, stuff for us. I mean, to learn with them
true.
here. Yeah.
True. So, Bit, would you consider going plant based?
I tried it in 2020 already. I tried it. I tried it in November for a month, and I actually liked it. I actually did like it,
But
and but there is actually no reason why I didn't continue. I had all
okay.
the reason. I had all the reasons in the world to just continue it and be plant based, but I didn't. But what I got out of it was I was very, very energetic compared to before.
Mm,
When I
Okay.
woke up early in the morning, I wasn't tired. I actually felt energetic, and I really liked that about it. That was the only reason I actually liked it, because I actually felt really good compared to before when I ate the hamburgers, the sushis, and things like that. And I still do, but I have no reason why I quit. I have no valid reason. But I want to try it again, but this time for a longer period of time. How long? I have no idea yet, but I want to try it again.
I think you got to hit at least the 3 month mark. If you can make it at least 3 months, because then you'll start to see the long term effects. Anything less than
True.
that is still short term.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
You're right. And maybe I should.
That's
just-
just as a personal goal. Every time I start something, I'm like, I've got to make at least 3 months.
3
Then you
months.
can turn it into a habit that's
Yeah.
just easier to continue.
Absolutely.
No,
In-
you're right.
In my case, going back to what Tayo was asking me, you don't have the temptation, and I say, the good thing about this is that if I want to eat meat tomorrow, I eat meat tomorrow. Nothing happens. It's not a religious thing that I can't eat meat. It's not somebody's behind me telling me don't eat meat.
Yeah.
And I guess this is the trick. This is the way I have tricked my brain with this, because I say if I want to do it tomorrow, I do it. Nobody's gonna stop me, for doing it. So, and because of that, I just don't do it. I don't feel the necessity, which is weird. I actually thinking about it. It's weird for me because I used to love eating meat. I'm happy anyway. I'm happy because I'm in a way I'm helping the planet. Let's say I'm giving my contribution. You know how much we are damaging the planet and eating. Oh,
Absolutely.
you're dead.
Absolutely.
And eating meat is a good way. And but most of all, or also not most of all, but also I'm helping my body. I'm not 25 anymore that I can give the luxury to myself to drink a bottle of Jack Daniel every week, or to eat meat 4 times a week, something like that. No, so and you will know it. The older you get, the more you have to take care of your body, and the slower things happening for you. So it's like that. So the important thing is that I'm focusing. I'm feeling well and for me it's not a restriction. Is not if I want to go back or tomorrow eat a burger, I do it, and that's it. Nothing happens.
True. True. Well, I think for me as well, it's like one of those things where, which it's a general misconception that I also did not know until I started looking into this after this whole period. I've always thought going plant based or being like vegan, vegetarian meant that you will change your whole diet, no meat, nothing,
Yeah.
and that you only stick to like just boring vegetables and things like that, and that's not true. you know there are several things that you can still potentially do. It's I think what puts it best for me was when I heard Arnold saying that going plant based is not saying don't eat meats. It's saying eat more vegetables. So the more vegetables you eat, the less you would want to eat meat because, well, you're gonna be full anyways. So instead of telling someone, "Oh, you should stop eating meat." Tell them eat more vegetables. That's kind of like
Yeah.
a more receptive conversation as opposed to don't eat meat.
Don't eat meat.
I
Yeah.
remember when my girlfriend
Yeah.
first, when she first had this conversation with me. This was like 2 years ago, and she's like, "Oh, so what if?" Not. She didn't even say let's like go plant based. She just said,
Mm.
"What if we were to?" And I'm like, "No ways. I love me my chicken. I love this. I love no ways." You know. And when I told her like 2 days ago that I think I might want to go plant based. She's like, "What? Like, who's
I
that
told you so,
angel?"
right?
She's like, "Who's that angel who made you believe that?"
Of
And I'm
course,
just
you
like, you
listen to
know what?
Ruben instead of her, right?
And I told her, I said, "Look, I felt like it's the way you had the conversation and the way other people have this conversation as well. If you
Yeah.
come to me and say, 'Oh, you should stop eating meat. You should go plant-based.' I will be defensive of that. But if you come and
Absolutely.
say, you know, if you act, you should try eating more vegetables with your meat and see what happens.
Yeah. And
That's something that
fruits.
I'm
Yeah.
potentially more going to be understanding of. And I feel like that's something that the plant based community has to change in how, well, I want to say I'm part of that community
Yeah.
now. So the way we put that message out there, we should stop
That's
telling people don't eat meat. Rather, let's eat more vegetables. Let's eat more
that's good.
vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Well,
agree.
it's about.
Yeah.
I think it's about starting by talking. What do you eat with the burgers, and make those things more of the priority, and
Yeah.
getting people used to eating other things, and thinking about that instead of thinking about the burger. Think about what am I going to have with it.
With
Because
it. Yeah.
here in the U.S., one of our main things what do you want to eat? Well, it's what meat are we going to eat is the first thing we think of. And then we go, okay, and then some sort of starch and then some sort of vegetable or fruit. We need to flip that
Exactly.
and say, well, what are we having for dinner? Well, I know I want to eat green beans and rice. Now what goes with that? And then it doesn't always
Exactly.
have to be a meat, but we've
Yeah.
already set up the meal in a way that it's a healthier approach without
Yes.
saying no meat allowed, but saying let's
Exactly.
not focus on that.
Yeah.
Start there.
It's funny because my wife was like since a long time ago she was trying to convince me to go vegetarian now, and then she was sometimes used to throw some eating fruits. It's a good eating fruits.
Yeah.
Fruits is the purest
It
thing on the
is.
planet, man. Absolutely.
It is.
So once in a while, she used to throw a vegan recipe of something, or pancakes or something. No, and that's fine for me. I respect everybody. I don't want to talk. I don't want to say anything to offend anybody. I think vegans. I understand. I totally understand the meaning of it, but I think sometimes if you exaggerate too much, you fall into make mistakes, etc. No, and my wife used to tell me you should go vegetarian, no, because meat animals they have a lot of toxins and etc. etc. And it's true, no. And then I used to tell her, and who's telling you that vegetables that you eat don't have chemicals and don't have pesticides? And so I used to tell her, it's everything. We are doomed, So my theory was, if you do everything in little doses, it's okay.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you do bad things in little doses, they accumulate, and at the end they give you a bad result. So right behind where I have my computer, there is a window, and behind that window, it's the back part of our property, and right there, we decided one day to do a vegetable garden. So I say, okay, I'm gonna try to eat my own stuff, the things that I produce. So we do lettuce, we do zucchini, we do tomatoes, and all the stuff when you eat that stuff that hasn't anything, just water and sun. I don't put anything because it's not very big, but anyway. Oh man, the taste of those veggies, it's amazing. It's incredible. So this is it, and this year, and now actually I'm preparing the ground because I want to expand a little bit more, and I want to plant potatoes and more stuff, the stuff that I normally consume. This is funny that you mentioned, Philip, about the veggies and the starch and the protein, etc. In the video I did about the five Tibetans, the key of the stuff, what the Tibetans do, and the Tibet, obviously, they never combine proteins with vegetables and with starches. For them, this is the worst thing you could do. Actually, they are vegetarians, but some of them eat protein sometimes. They eat raw eggs, cheese, etc. But what they do is they never mix. They say that if you need to mix something, it should be a protein and a vegetable, but never ever protein and starchy food, because that one that falls in the arrives to the stomach, they clash and they do a big fight over there. But we the way we eat, the way we do many things is all wrong. I mean, and some people say that it's done on purpose, but what can we say? But this is interesting. This is interesting because we never stop learning, man. We always discover something new.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's
Joe,
true.
you want to chip in on that?
Tayo, I have to go, man. Thank you so
it's
much.
great to have you guys. It's already midnight here as well, so
Time zones.
yeah. I will definitely try to work out a schedule that we can all work with, so that if we're
Awesome.
able to do this more often, it would be great. So I'll send you guys a DM on Twitter as well.
Awesome.
Dope.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, man.
For
It was a
sharing.
pleasure.
Thanks for sharing. And Jelly
Jelly
Dog.
100.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guys, have
for
a good
coming
day,
on.
Ruben. He's a fan. He's a fan of Ruben. Okay.
Yeah, he's a
Jelly
great
Dog.
guy.
Thank
Jelly
you.
Dog, man. Since the beginning, I know him since the beginning.
Oh. All right, guys. Take care of yourself. Have a great day, and see you next
too,
time.
man.
Take care.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was a good one. All right, Jelly Doc, thanks for coming on the live. You can join us next time we're going live. It was great to have people on board and everyone just sharing their experience and all of that. So, yeah, it's been good. Cheers, everyone. See you next time.